My dear students, warmly welcome all of you all for the Infinity Space, which is your online learning provider. Then I think most of you all know me. I am Nayananchali Jayasekara, which is I am here to guide you, help you for very exam focused session on your upcoming strategic level examination under 2020 curriculum, which is if it is subject, by knowing me you all know what is the subject, but it's the SL3 corporate taxation under corporate tax and law pillar. Then I am here to this is very brief session for all of you for the focusing on the October 2020 examination. Then for that we will see what is the 2020 curriculum, what is our syllabus area, and what are the key topics, highly important. I may say if you taken the entire syllabus, it's very important, because in the taxation paper, the corporate taxation paper, all the students will going to sit for this time examination. Your position is a tax consultant, nothing other than that. Then as a tax consultant, the 100% of the syllabus area is critical for you to know. But in this quick summary, what I am going to do, the topic area, which is 30% area of your syllabus, resident company taxation. And I know all of you all very love to do this question because this is calculation. And my main target here, how a student quickly take the very quick idea of how to take the entire marks. If it is 25 marks, how you are going to take that entire 25 marks from this question. Then for that, to take you all through under that path, I have taken the advantage of the pilot paper, which is the pilot paper now the release under 2020 curriculum, which is critical for you all before the examination to do all the questions of the pilot paper and get ready for the examination. Okay, we will see what is a session outline and the curriculum, what are the main syllabus areas, and what are the key points you all should know before the examination. Okay, then this is the summary of the syllabus. I think most of you all know this summary. You all know all the nitty-gritties, the high level of the understanding of all these 100% of the syllabus area. Then in that, you should know your pillar is tax and law under 2020 curriculum. Then your course unit is corporate taxation, which is critical for you to pass. Don't misunderstand that when looking at the name, it's a corporate taxation. In that, don't think that since it is a taxation, okay, we have to calculate and write answer. No, you have to calculate, but very lesser marks allocated for the calculations. For this part, the corporate taxation, this paper here you have to write. In my first area, I have told you all, you have to act as the tax consultant. Tax consultant, what he or she is doing, based on the calculation, you should provide a recommendation, advice or conclusion. Then how you are going to provide that according to the examiner's requirement. How the examiner requirement has addressed based on the action verbs provided to you. I think all of you all know about these action verbs. Then you should in thorough with the action verbs and write the extract, the requirement, the ask from the examiner. It is very critical. When it comes to today's main area, which is income tax liability of a resident company, which is the 30% area, you can see in the in the syllabus, it's a 30% is the higher weightage has given for the income tax liability of a resident company. Then this is the calculation part of the your paper as the higher marks allocated. Higher marks allocated, this is given under section 2 of your paper and the question 3. And what is the beauty of this part? You are well prepared for the examination. That is very, very important. How I am telling, you are well prepared on this part because this is based on the pre-scene. Pre-scene is given to the student before the examination, and based on the pre-scene information, you are well prepared for the unseen provided in the actual examination. That is very, very important. If you all know about the pre-scene, if you all know about how to compute balance tax payable of a company or rather resident company, then you all are well prepared for this 25 marks or maybe maximum 28 marks. That's why I am telling to take highest marks on this most your favorite the subject area. It's very easy if you are well prepared on this. And don't worry, for this part I will come separately. And then taxation and business decision making, in here it's 10% area. In this 10% area, when doing my session, I am again coming to this part also with this 30% area, because the company taxation plus taxation and business decision making, it's link each other. Because you have to provide a solution maybe for the resident company, maybe for the individual may be non-resident or rather resident individual. Then like that you should have a thorough knowledge of the income tax liability of a resident company to you to answer taxation and business decision making with reference to company and with reference to individuals associated with the company. The individuals associated with the company, shareholders, directors, employees, then on behalf of one company, if the examiner has asked on these individuals what is a tax treatment, then you should know all these things. Then the part C, taxation of non-residents and international taxation, which is 15% of your syllabus. In that, very easy, don't worry about this part. I am always telling, if you all can compute a tax liability of a resident person, why can't you all compute the tax liability of a non-resident person? Which is very easy for you all if you all know the theoretical areas plus double taxation treatise. Then the part D, statutory provisions and case law, again it's 10%. In the statutory provisions, now it's very close to the examination. When it comes to the statutory provisions and the case law part, on behalf of the statutory provisions, please go to the Inland Revenue Act number 24 of 2017, because your examination is open book referential. Therefore, take the maximum advantage from the open book referential examination. The statutory provision, we don't have any guide other than the Inland Revenue Act. That is very, very important. Therefore, for statutory provisions, go for assessments, go for payment of taxes, go for the particular sections of the administration review, the penalty, default tax, the extended of payments, all these things, tag that particular sections. Read it very well and tag that particular sections. Be familiar with the Inland Revenue Act. Then you all very easily can take these marks on the statutory provisions and the case law. Case law in your paper, it may be linked with this 50 marks question, or else separately it can testable. The list of the case law separately given in your syllabus, then the case law provision more or less it's again coming with company taxation. That part then you need to know can this expense is deductible? Is this expense is capital nature expenditure or a recurring nature expenditure? Is this transaction is in the way of business or isolated transaction not related to the business? Then all these things in the flow you have to check whether this is a taxable transaction or not. For that you need to take the support from the provided statutory provisions in the Inland Revenue Act plus decided case laws. Decided case laws, that's why the importance of case law, it is adding value to your answer, and definite questions are there in the past papers and also in your maybe in your actual paper. Then please go through these case law provisions. And second part, the after that, which is E, management of value added tax, which is your 15% syllabus area, very critical. Now all these things, income tax liability of a resident company, business decision making, non-resident taxation, statutory provisions, and I am taking tax planning and advising, all these things more or less very much linked to Inland Revenue Act number 24 of 2017. But this is governed by a separate act, which is number the 14 of 2002, Value Added Tax Act. In that, it's a separate area which you are receiving 15% syllabus weightage and definite question in your section 1 part. And if you have referred the past papers 2018 December, 2019 June, if you refer the past papers, you can see even in the section 3, which is your 50 marks question, for the 7 marks, 8 marks, the management of value added tax, the theoretical part, application of theory for the given unseen question has tested. Then therefore, please be aware of the all the syllabus area of the value added tax. And tax planning and advising, this is commonly the transfer pricing part and the tax exemptions, all these things, how a person going to plan the future tax liability or a current tax liability, then it is addressed in the tax planning and advising. Then contemporary issues in taxation, the reason laws change during the period of the recent changes, then that issues, it may be addressed in your paper, not later than 6 months period. Therefore, this is your entire syllabus. This is your entire syllabus. In that, my main target today is income tax liability of a resident company. I'll take you all through for the theoretical part as well as the pilot paper question. Okay. Then with that brief explanation on the paper, now we will see a high level of understanding on the introduction to corporate taxation paper. This is very critical because even you know the entire syllabus, even you have Patrice well, but you have only 3 hours and 15 minutes. You have only 3 hours and 15 minutes to answer your paper. Then we will see, this is your structure of the paper. The time allocation 3 hours and 15 minutes. I am asking from all of you all why there is a 15 minutes additional time. Are you to just read the entire paper? No, it's for very clearly in the examiner has given to read the question carefully and plan your answer. Now ask from you all, are you all at that 15 minutes reading time, are you all going to do this? If no, take it as a yes position and do this, because the why it's very important, no selections in the questions. The no selections in the question, you shall answer for all questions. You shall answer for all questions. Then take 3-4 minutes to read the paper just to see what are the questions in section 1. Question 1 is this, section 1 question 2 is this. Anyway, you all know in the section 2 question 3 it's the calculation part for the part A, which is based on your pre-seen. The unseen question is given and entire rest of the 25 marks to allocated to that pre-seen question, which is provided by the unseen the information. Then you all know this paper. Then you all know in the section 1, question 1 may be value added tax or rather non-resident tax or else non-resident taxation. Whatever it is, testing. Then question 2 again, if the question 1 is non-resident, question 2 is value added tax with all other the small parts of the syllabus has linked. Then you all know the structure of the paper. By knowing the paper, you all go for the examination. Then it is very, very important as a smart student face to 3 hours and the 15 minutes. It's very critical. The most of the students, they know everything, but they are failed the examination by 46, 47 marks, which is very unfortunate. Then if I have asked from that students what happened in the examination, the most of their answer is they couldn't manage the time at the paper. Very unfortunate situation. This may be will be happen at your examination if you have not properly managed the time. Therefore, that's why examiner has given 15 minutes additional reading time. At that time, select the question. If it is section 1, question 1. If it is the value added tax, if you are selected to do it first, I am not telling do question 1 first, the second one, third one. It's your convenient. It's your convenient. Then anyway, only thing you have to do is the time management. The first part is 25 marks. Then 45 minutes. You should have in your mind within 45 minutes I will going to conclude this question, the answer of this question. And next 45 minutes I shall complete next question 2, which is 25 marks. Then the remainder of 1 hour and 30 minutes, it should be allocated to this so-called 50 marks question based on your unseen. Then that plan should be in your mind. Without that plan, don't go for the examination. Plan it and go. Then definitely you can pass. Here, since there are no selections to the question, since you shall answer for the all questions, then in the 15 minutes reading time, you should start the reading whatever the most easiest question for you all. Then when reading the question, don't start from the information. Go for the requirement. I am every time highly the telling all of yours. It is very important to first understand the requirement. Then read the requirement, understand the action verb, understand the what is examiner asked. Then you have to write an answer for what has the examiner asked. Then by what is the importance of the reading the requirement and then read the information of the question. Because when reading the requirement, you all know what the examiner has asked. Now it is in your mind. With that mind, you are reading the information of the question. Then you all know how I am going to plan my answer. Then visualize that you have selected the question 1 of the section 1. In that, read if there are 3-4 requirements, read the first requirement, second, third, the 3 requirements and go for the information and read the question. When the answer booklet received to you by that particular the person, then you are in a position to start writing of your answer. That's key. How to manage your time, it's key. Don't waste your 15 minutes reading time. take the maximum benefit out of it very effectively. That's my very the high level of the advice for all of you all. Then in the paper, the total marks 100, pass mark 50. What is the maximum pass mark is 50, therefore for the errors another 50% has given. Then see, can you take this 50 marks? Yes, obviously all of you all can take this 50 marks. If you ready with all the open book referential materials, all the theory knowledge, practice in this all the questions, then you all very high, with the high confidence you all can, I will say you all can pass with not from the 50, 70, 75 up to the price. Then sections. In the paper there are two sections as I have explained, which is section 1 and section 2. Section 1, you all know there are two questions, but you all don't know maybe it's VAT or maybe it's non-resident taxation, and with the tax planning, exemptions, business decision making, all these things. Then is 225 marks question, time allocation 45 minutes per each. Don't forget this 45 minutes. If you are going to forget in this 45 minutes, then it's critical for your examination. Then section 2, which I am mostly focused today, 50 marks question based on unseen provided on common pre-seen. Okay. Then time allocation is 1.5 hour, that means 1 hour and 30 minutes. 1 hour and 30 minutes allocated. Then what is beauty of your examination? It is open book referential examination. There are particular gazette notifications, Inland Revenue Act, Value Added Tax Act, NBT Act. Then for the non-resident taxation question, particular annexures given by the examiner as the attachments to your paper. Then is it difficult for you all? No. This paper is really easy if your address is very clearly. Then we will see, now I have told many times this is open book referential. We will see what are the preferred open book referential materials. Okay. Then these are the preferred open book referential materials. Now ask from you, before this October upcoming examination, do you have these things with you? If not, you all panic in the examination. Now your next table, your friend is having a lot of books, but you don't have. Then you all is struggling in the examination, okay? Even without, you have all the knowledge, but by looking at the other person, you all, the panic is struggling at the examination. Don't be in that position. Now if you have not buy these books, please go and buy these materials. These are the permitted open book materials for SL3 corporate taxation paper. In that, the first thing is Inland Revenue Act number 24 of 2017. You all are really lucky, still the amendments are not incorporated to this act. Therefore, the original act without amendments you can buy, and the Value Added Tax Act number 14 of 2002 and the subsequent amendments. The subsequent amendments, in that it's little cumbersome, I know, in that there are so many amendments from 2002 to up to now. But don't worry, you before examination, if you know the theoretical areas and if you can practice the questions very well, and in that sense I don't think you need to refer all the amendments. And the next part, NBT Act number 9 of 2009 and subsequent amendments, I will add something to here, even it is not relevant for you all for this time examination. From 1st December 2019, NBT has abolished, but that part is not applicable for you all because all of these things are proposed changes. then proposed changes is not the law. Then such proposed changes shall not be tested in your October examination. Then don't even think about that part. The proposed changes, therefore, Inland Revenue Act, the Value Added Tax Act, NBT Act, and also the Economic Service Charge. Then without that proposed changes, the original enactments before that is testable for your examination. Keep that also in your mind. Then very important, relevant gazette notification. Very important, these relevant gazette notifications. Why these are important? Maybe examiner is testing directly from this gazette notification. If you all know this gazette notification, if you all read these gazette notifications before the examination, it adds value to you all, okay. Then we will see what are the gazette notifications relevant for your entire examination. Permitted open book materials, list of gazette notification. I have divided it to two parts for value added tax and the income tax. We will first see value added tax. See, it's only 3. It's very easy, which is the first one is on the financial, VAT on financial services. It's issued on 2014, no changes to this gazette notification. Then in the value added tax, all of you all know, we have to calculate in the taxable, for the particular taxable period, the value added tax liability. Maybe it's on the suspended, the registered person, on the registered person, maybe that registered person registered on suspended VAT or simplified value added tax. Second one, the normal VAT and VAT on financial services. Then in any position, you should be in a position to compute and write very good answers on the particular value added tax questions. When it comes to VAT on financial services, it's a computation based on the value addition. All the computation way, the how to compute value addition, it has given in the VAT on financial services gazette notification. Therefore, this is very important. I think at this level you all know about these things. Then second part, zero rated supplies on the international transportation. This is very important. This is actually an extraordinary gazette notification, but keep in your mind this has tested in December 2019 examination. The past paper, this has tested. See the importance of that. In that, I may say the extract wording in the gazette notification. Extract wording in the gazette notification tested, incorporated to the question, and if the student know about this gazette notification, he or she can take the entire marks of that VAT calculation, and that in that much level it has easy. Then this is gazette notification 1986/9. This is on the regulations on simplified value added tax scheme. This is again very important. The under registered person for the value added tax who registered under simplified value added tax scheme, what are the forms he should submit to the Department of Inland Revenue? Can that the RIP and RIS, can that person claim input VAT, the particular RIP, can that person claim the input VAT? When claiming input VAT, what are the criteria? All these things included in this, the gazette notification tested many past papers. Therefore, if you are, even today I am not addressing this part, I will highly telling you all and advising you all, please go through all these gazette notifications with the relevant theory areas. Then second part, income tax gazette notification, there are many. in that very important transition regulations on transitional provisions, gazette notification, today I am taking this, and the disallowable taxes and levies when arriving into business income, this one also I am discussing today, and the regulations on capital gain tax, this is relevant to your investment income under section 10. Then after that, this is on the specific fee subject to which is withholding tax. Specific fee subject to withholding tax. When it comes to withholding tax, I need to tell one thing again. This one also change or removed with effective from 1st January 2019, which is again a proposed change. It's not the law. Till 31st December 2019, it was there as the law. Therefore, for proposed changes, don't even think about that proposed changes. Then, up to 31st December, this was there. Your testable period is 2019-20 without proposed changes. Please keep that in mind. Then next one, very very important, issued on transfer pricing. It may be tested separate question as the part of your the question 3, the 50 mark question, or else any other area of the paper, this part can be tested. Then in the transfer pricing, how the transfer pricing, the risk or exposure to transfer pricing will happen, and the second one, how to mitigate the identification of the transaction. All these things you should know, recommending the best method or best pricing method or how to resolve this matter. As a tax consultant, you should provide a good answer. Then amendments to transitional provision, that in the previous the slide I have mentioned that there is a gazette notification issued on 1st April 2018 on regulations on transfer pricing. On this, for this gazette notification, there is a change to or amendment to that gazette notification. It's not a major amendment, it's again for further explaining the BOI exemptions and all these things. Then next one, this is these two gazette notifications come in under your tax administration part. In that tax administration part, the authorized representatives, you should read these gazette notifications, and you should bring this all the gazette notification for the examination. But very importantly, these two gazette notifications are really important. In December 2018, the corporate taxation paper, this part has tested separately. Then see, if you read these gazette notifications, if you know there is a gazette notification like this, then it is maybe read and write the answer from the gazette notification. Therefore, because like I have told that zero rated supplies gazette notification, these two gazette notification directly tested. Therefore, understand the importance of the open book for the corporate taxation, not for the all questions, but smart students can take marks by very carefully referring to the particular open book referential materials. Then this is the gazette notification number 206463 issued on 1st April 2018 on person who can register that authorized representative. This is the topic of the gazette. And second one, the activities. As if I am a taxpayer, for me, what are the activities I can allocate it to you if you are my authorized representative? Maybe for my income tax, the registration, to take tax clearances on behalf of me, to fill my income tax return, likewise the list of activities given in that gazette notification. Then this is Next gazette notification relevant to section 85 withholding taxes. This is again relevant to specified fee section the 85. Here also the same gazette notification, it is in the specified fee. Then we will see what are these are the permitted open book referential materials you should bring examination. These are all the list of gazette notification you can buy from CA Sri Lanka publication. Then don't delay, go and buy this gazette notification. Please read this, underline, highlight, tag, do the anything which it is most familiar to you all. Okay. Then my main focus is today is a resident company taxation which is 30%. I think with this brief discussion of the syllabus area, you have got the high level of understanding of the paper, time allocation, action verbs and all these things, and very at a glance picture of the open book referential. With all that good understanding, we will go for resident company taxation, which is your 30% the area in the syllabus.